There's a lot of beep boop in this movie. I'm SirDinosaur from Planet X, and now it's time for a movie review. So we're in the woods and some otters see a robot and they're like, what the heck is that? So they go and touch it and accidentally turn it on, and the robot is like, hey, I'm a robot, what's up? And the otters are like, nope, and they throw it in the water. Then the robot goes walking around asking animals if it can assist them. The robot is all confused because it's not where it's supposed to be and there's no humans around, only animals who are like, dude, get away from me. Like at one point it goes over to a beaver and knocks its dam over while it goes to say hi. And it mimics a deer galloping and the deer is like, dude, stop. So it kicks the robot in the head. I think this robot has a lot to learn. It seems like whoever made this robot did not program it to know much about animals. However, it activates this thing called learning mode, so it just sits there quietly while animals do stuff around it, so when it wakes up, it can understand what the animals are saying. So for the sake of convenience, looks like the animals are going to speak English for the rest of the movie. The robot tries to talk to the animals and reassure them that it means no harm, but the animals think it's a monster and they run away. The robot figures its original mission is a lost cause, so it tries to activate a return to factory process, but it's standing at the top of a mountain during a storm, so it's struck by lightning and attacked by animals. The robot, named Roz, accidentally crushes a goose's nest, destroying all the eggs except for one. Now it's got a mission to make sure the egg is taken care of. A fox tries to take the egg, but Roz is like, nope, and gets the egg back. It hatches into a little gosling and is treating Roz like the robot is its mom or something. The gosling runs into a mama possum and her kids, and the mama possum explains to Roz what we already knew. Her task is to take care of the gosling. Roz is like, how do you do that? So the mama possum gives some advice, saying the gosling needs to learn how to swim and fly by fall or it's gonna die. I don't think Roz really got the gravity of the situation, but it's working on the task anyway. So Roz teaches the little gosling how to do stuff, and the fox named Fink just kind of hangs out waiting for an opportunity to go nom nom. So now we got like this ironic situation where Fink is tricking Roz into doing selfish stuff for his own benefit, and Fink is giving Roz bad advice. Roz builds a large wigwam with the gosling's help and names it Bright Bill after Fink gives it a big lecture about being nice. Psst. Hey Fink, maybe you should take your own advice and stop taking advantage of the robot. So then Fink actually does something nice and makes up a story to give Bright Bill a little story time when there's scary thunder outside. So Bright Bill grows up and Roz has learned a lot and is a better mom to the goose, but Bright Bill is a little odd and socially awkward since his mom is not like the other goose moms. He kind of talks like a robot, which makes sense when you think about it, because his mom is a robot. He tries to swim and does okay, even though he's mostly flailing around. Bright Bill finds other geese. There's a lot of them. I think this is the first time he's seen any animals that look like him. He was given swimming instructions that are right by human standards but incorrect by goose standards. He talks with a lady goose who basically reveals that Bright Bill is famous among geese for being a weirdo raised by a monster. Then some dude geese swim up to Bright Bill and bully him. Roz has secretly been using a robot tech thingy, part of her, to spy on Bright Bill, so it intervenes, scares all the geese away, and saves him from a fish. The bully geese come back, talk smack to Bright Bill, and say that Roz killed Bright Bill's actual mom. So as you can expect, wants to go back home. Bright Bill gets really upset, says Roz is not his real mom, and leaves. Roz has nothing to do now, so it goes exploring a bit, and it finds another busted up robot and manages to turn it on. While it's doing that, Roz sees a video of what the robots were supposed to be for, an assistant to humans so that humans didn't have to do as much busy work every day. Roz and the new robot called Rummage have pretty different demeanors. Since Roz has been doing overrides to his code all the time in order to behave as a parent, it has learned a lot and developed a personality. Rummage says this is not okay, and it advises Roz to return to the factory. But Roz talks with Fink and they decide to go help Bright Bill. They talk with Bright Bill and he's like, nah, go away. But Roz is like, hey, I complete every task I've got and the job's not done, buddy boy, so we're gonna figure this out, capiche? So he teaches Bright Bill how to fly and gets a falcon named Thunderbolt to help with the final stages of teaching. Roz asks the goose flight leader named Longneck if Bright Bill can join the flock for migration. Now, Longneck is like, hey, kid's got potential, but he's got to keep up. So everybody works together to make Bright Bill a stronger flyer. Even the mama possum helps. Roz completes his task and sends Bright Bill off with the other geese for the big migration south for the winter. As Bright Bill leaves, you can tell that Roz is reacting like a mom would react to her kid leaving home. Roz seems sad. I thought robots couldn't be sad if they were not programmed that way. But Roz has been overriding its programming to behave like a parent, and maybe Roz is starting to have feelings. Interesting. Roz asks Fink, how do you know if you love somebody? And Fink says, hey, if you do, then you should probably tell them. But Roz thinks it's too late. Roz and Fink both seem pretty bummed out. All the animals who have not migrated start to hunker down for the winter. Time to hibernate. There's a thunderstorm during the migration, so Longneck leads the geese towards what looks like a safe place at first, but we learn is a big greenhouse place for Universal Dynamics, the company that makes Roz robots. The robots are not friendly like Roz, since they don't have the context and experience with geese that Roz does, so they see the geese as threats to the facility and attack them. Longneck causes a distraction, sacrificing himself, and he has Brightbill lead the other geese to escape. Roz gets woken up by Fink since the storm is worse than usual, so Roz goes around rescuing the other animals and bringing them all to its wigwam where it's a lot safer. The trouble is, the animals refuse to get along, so it's chaos in the wigwam when Roz gets back. Roz is the worse for wear given the cold, so Fink makes a speech telling them all to chill out. He refers to Roz as her, and I think I'm going to start doing that too. Roz isn't just a machine anymore. Roz is more like a lady robot who wants to help animals. There's a bear in there named Thorn who's basically like, yup, Roz is a hero, and if she wants to be peaceful in here, then you guys better play nice or I'm gonna sit on you. So the animals cooperate until springtime. Brightbill gets back with the geese at springtime, and everything is looking pretty good. But then a flying robot with tentacles shows up called Vantra, which stands for Virtual Observational Neutralizing Troublesome Retrieval Authority. Yeah, that's a mouthful. Vantra is there to fix Roz, and I'm saying fix with really big air quotes, since Vantra really wants to return Roz to factory settings and delete her personality and life experiences. She almost goes along with Vantra at first, but Fink is like, yo, Roz, what are you doing? Brightbill's here. So Roz lies to Vantra and leaves, and Vantra sends a bunch of robots after her. Uh-oh. The other robots show up and demand that Roz come home. The other animals stand with Roz. Roz says, I'm not going anywhere. I'm a wild robot. And now it's war. A big fight breaks out, and the animals kick the robots' butts. But then the robot airship blows up the damaged robots, yanks Roz into the ship, and starts a forest fire. Yikes. And Vantra is all like, oh, this is great. Your memories are going to be so useful to Universal Dynamics. We're going to take them all. So Roz is like, can I keep one? I think she's talking about Brightbill. But Vantra's like, no. And now I think it's time for Vantra to get got. Turns out Brightbill snuck onto the airship. He goes over to Roz, but Vantra turned off Roz. Brightbill's presence gets Roz to turn back on, though. She says, I love you to Brightbill, and now it's time to escape. The animals form a new plan. Thunderbolt manipulates the airship's gun so it shoots itself. Vantra gets a gun and confronts Roz, but Roz defeats Vantra, and she gets out of there with Brightbill before the airship blows up. Back on land, the beaver gets the other animals to team up and use a tree to dam the river, flooding the forest below and stopping the forest fire. However, Roz is worried since she thinks Universal Dynamics will keep coming for her and threatening the animals. She wants to make things right, so she's going to go to Universal Dynamics to fix the situation. The other animals are pretty nervous about this, especially Fink since he hasn't had any other friends before. Roz gets them all on board by describing how this is going to be like her migration. At the end, we see Roz at a different Universal Dynamics greenhouse. Brightbill visits her, and she's still got her memories, so that's good. This is a nice movie about an unlikely family unit and a bunch of different animals in the same place learning how to put aside their differences and get along. So I think this movie is good for kids.